I can't even begin to imagine what the world was like when Pokemon was first introduced. I mean, I hadn't even been born yet. When I think of Pokemon now, I think of all the nostalgia that the franchise seems to ride on. Now, I'm not implying that Pokemon only tends to its existing fans, but rather I think Pokemon is very conservative with their new ideas and likes to stick with what already works. In the last few years, aside from mainline and digitally exclusive games, Pokemon has only been releasing remakes or sequels. Granted, Pokemon does different types of games with their digitally exclusive titles like Pokemon Quest, Masters EX, Cafe Remix, and a personal favorite of mine, Pokemon Unite, but my point still stands. That is until Legends Arceus came about. Today marks 1 year since Pokemon came out with Legends Arceus, and since then, fans have imagined their own Legends world that dives into the past of other mainline games, creating various regional forms and evolutions, and illustrations of characters' ancestors. Legends Arceus broke the mold of traditional Pokemon games, shifting from having grass patches and cave floors of random encounters and spawns to a more open world experience where Pokemon can run from you if you startle them, or become aggressive and chase you if you so much as breathe or look at them funny. It also brought about a crafting system that allows you to make your own Pokeballs and other items using materials gathered from your ventures in the wilds. Legends Arceus isn't exactly an open world game, nor are its fundamentals any different from games like Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon is taking the first step into new territory, and I'm all for it. Although the game does have its flaws, I still think Legends Arceus is a really fun game, and it marks the start of a new era for Pokemon. Ever since the introduction of regional forms in Sun and Moon, fans have speculated how other Pokemon's regional forms may look in their own imaginative world. In Legends Arceus, we get to see what some Pokemon looked like in the past, which are what we call their Hisuian forms. As we play Legends Arceus, we get to explore how each of them play a role in the world of Hisui. Noble Pokemon in particular are held in very high regard as they are accepting of very few individuals, and we can see this when we befriend the first noble Pokemon, Wordier. Now that very idea of befriending Pokemon was almost unheard of in Jubilife Village. Pokeballs had just been invented and hardly anyone knew how to catch Pokemon, thus no one was able to study and appreciate them. Legends Arceus changed the formula of how you can catch Pokemon. Before, you would have to encounter the wild Pokemon, send out your own Pokemon to weaken it, and then throw the Pokeball. Now you can just throw the ball directly at the Pokemon from the overworld without having to go through the entire encounter sequence. It greatly improved the quality of life because it saves you so much time. Also, completing the Pokédex doesn't feel like a chore, but rather it feels like an accomplishment. When you join the Survey Corps, it is your duty to conduct research on all Pokemon, and that means catching one of each Pokemon is not enough. You're given objectives to complete for each Pokemon, which can range from watch this Pokemon use this move to catch this Pokemon without being spotted. Catching Pokemon has been made so much easier, and the game takes advantage of this by having these objectives to complete for the Pokédex. Also, being the new researcher on the block, you'll receive requests from the villagers that deal with each of their relationships to Pokemon. As you frequent some of these villagers, you'll begin to appreciate having a small cast of characters because you get to see their relationships with Pokemon grow. And that growth will eventually lead to the coexistence of people and Pokemon in the contemporary world of Sinnoh. Legends Arceus also changed the formula of Pokemon battles by introducing the concept of move mastery, which allows Pokemon to use moves in agile or strong styles. These two styles could change the flow of a battle by manipulating the power of the move and the action speed of the Pokemon. A move made in the agile style will be weaker than normal but increases action speed and allows for a subsequent move to be executed sooner. On the other hand, a move made in the strong style will be much stronger but decreases action speed and will cause future moves to be executed later. This twist made battles more interesting because it really puts an emphasis on the importance of the speed stat. Sometimes the opposing Pokemon will attack more than once before you get the chance to retaliate, and that means if they're fast enough, they can one-shot your entire team before you can revive any of them. This idea was not implemented in Scarlet and Violet, and it makes sense. Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet were in production at the same time, but maybe we'll see the return of move mastery in future Legends games. Legends Arceus doesn't have an established Pokemon League where you need to collect badges or face the Elite Four to challenge Cynthia for the title of champion. Instead, the game pits you against frenzied noble Pokemon. Noble Pokemon are powerful Pokemon served by the wardens of the Diamond and Pearl clans that keep the territories safe, but lightning created from space-time distortions have caused some of these noble Pokemon to become frenzied, and it is your job to calm them down. What Legends Arceus did that was different from previous Pokemon games was that to defeat these nobles, you would have to throw bombs of food at them as if you were throwing Pokeballs at wild Pokemon. This requires a relatively good understanding of the nobles' attack patterns so that you can successfully dodge and avoid taking damage, and it made me realize how bad I actually was at video games. Although it would take me several attempts to finally quell a noble Pokemon, I never got tired of the challenge. It was different from just simply bringing in Pokemon with type advantages for every battle like in traditional Pokemon games, and I really appreciated that. You can say that Legends Arceus is lacking in some departments, and I agree, there's room for improvement. But at the same time, the game has many quality of life changes and an improved idea of side objectives that made Legends Arceus well worth the experience. This was definitely one of the best Pokemon games in a while, and I hope they decide to make more Legends games in the future. Recently, I've had some trouble deciding which game I want to play because over the holidays, I bought a bunch of games. Playing Legends Arceus again helped me break out of that struggle and has motivated me to make videos like this one. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like button because your support is greatly appreciated. Let me know down in the comments which region you would like to see in the next Legends game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.